Hey, I hope you're having an amazing day today. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update on Jackson's hip dysplasia. He was diagnosed, if you guys don't know, at around 10 or 11 months of age. Jackson right now is currently a year and around 5 months of age. So again, I'm going to give a quick update on his hip dysplasia, how he's doing, what our daily routine is like, what we do, what we have been doing. I also just want to preface this too, that if you just found out that your dog has hip dysplasia or actually has hip dysplasia, I know it could be really hard to really take in that news. I remember when Jackson was 11 months and I just found out that he had hip dysplasia. I was very heartbroken. I thought the world was about to end, and no one ever wants to feel that way. But I just want to let you guys know that this is not a life-ending injury. Everything is going to be okay. Just you got to make sure to be cautious, focus, and do what you can day to day to really ensure that your dog lives a happy and loving life. And with Jackson, even though he wants to go outside right now, I can tell he is living that life, and that is just because of consistency in what I'm doing day to day. So overall, Jackson has been doing really well ever since being diagnosed with hip dysplasia. He hasn't been limping. He hasn't really shown any signs of hip dysplasia. He has been very active. He's been playing with other dogs. And again, there hasn't been any symptoms or any injuries, thankfully, as a result of all of that. That being said, there are a few things that I'm doing day to day to ensure and limit and really help with his hip dysplasia. So number one, that is limiting extraneous activity. So what I mean by that is just not sprinting when we go for walks or when we go on jogging. I specifically focus on low impact exercises. For example, like I just said, jogging at a nice pace and making sure that it isn't too hard on his joints. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? I'm trying to film a video. On top of that, whenever we would go to the dog park or even just jogging, just limiting the amount of time he is exercising and playing, because if he gets to the point where his body's almost exhausted, and knowing Jackson, and if you guys have an Aussiedoodle, you can kind of attest to this, their energy is crazy and they just want to keep on going. I just keep an eye on his body and make sure that if he is tired, that it is time to go, it's time to leave the dog park, and again, not over exercising his body. I also make sure to keep him lean, make sure he's not overweight, because extra weight can really put a lot of pressure and stress on the joint, on the ball and socket here. If you guys have a dog that has hip dysplasia, at least with Jackson, you can actually feel his bone here. So I like to massage it every so often throughout the day, just so that his body won't put too much stress on those joints. But going back, limiting how much food that he eats. Jackson's very good himself at just eating when he wants to eat, and also not gobbling up any type of food in his bowl right away. He'll eat until he's satisfied, which I think is really awesome. But yeah, just keeping him lean, making sure that he's not overweight, because again, being overweight can put a lot of stress on his joints, and in the long term, when the effects of hip dysplasia are very apparent, it could be very painful for him to move around. Going more on his food, every day I give him one glucosamine tablet, and if you guys don't know, glucosamine is a great supplement to really help with the hip and joints, so I definitely recommend getting a glucosamine supplement. There are a lot of brands that offer it. There's some premium ones. I think it would be an extra $20 to $40 if you're going for the more premium brand a month for these glucosamine tablets. But again, I definitely recommend it. Ever since I put him on glucosamine at 11 months of age, when he was diagnosed, he was actually limping every time he would come up from a nap, and especially in the winter time. But ever since intaking glucosamine, he's been very mobile, he's been very himself and not limping at all. Another thing you can add to their food is fish oil. We're not using fish oil right now because we kind of ran out of it, but if you'd like, fish oil is high in omega-3s, which I believe is great for their hip and joints. Before, I would just put the oil on top of the food, and Jackson loves it. Aside from the glucosamine and fish oil, we've just been using the regular Purina Pro Plan sensitive stomach. We've been on that ever since he's been a puppy, and he's been doing great with that. So I think I'm gonna keep him on that, but maybe down the line, when the effects of hip dysplasia really start to show, maybe I'll get a specific food for hip and joint, but for now, the glucosamine and fish oil are doing a great job. And aside from that, those are really the only few things that he is intaking for his body and everything else is just me being cautious and limiting the amount of exercise, the amount of movement he is doing day to day. So that also includes stairs. So we're in an apartment complex. We like to use the elevator a lot, at least going up. Sometimes we do use the stairs going down, but definitely up, it's very bad for the hip and joint. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. Whenever I have to go driving and Jackson is with me, I actually carry him into the car just because, again, jumping up into the car can be very hard on those joints. And no matter what, I want to prevent and limit as much aggravation as possible. Jackson did not get surgery. I am still considering surgery, maybe not at the very moment, just because in my area, the best surgeons, they charge around, I think the procedure's around 10 to 12K in total, which is just a lot. And I personally just do not have that money right now. So we just been combating his hip dysplasia again with just like limiting his exercise, keeping him lean, and then also making sure that he gets the supplements that he needs to really help his body. Ever since he's been diagnosed, our lives haven't really changed as much. Again, the only other thing that has really changed is just being cautious of how he moves day to day, and also just adding in those extra supplements in his food. We still go to the dog park, we still jog. He's still a puppy in my eyes, so I do want to take it gentle on his body. Aside from that, nothing really has changed, just really just being cautious and just acknowledging and being observant of how he moves and lives day to day. So to conclude this short little update, guys, Jackson has done a lot better. At least I have too, personally have gotten a lot better since the news of his hip dysplasia. I was just a mess. I think I have a video of it, my first reaction to it. I was heartbroken, but Jackson has gotten better. Our lifestyles right now are great. He's just chilling right now, if you guys can see. Hopefully this can be a great testament that if you have a dog that has hip dysplasia, it's not the end of the world. You guys can have a loving and happy life together. Obviously, it might change later down the line. The hip dysplasia will get worse towards the end of their years, as sad as it is for me to talk about, but try to do your best and tackle it on, combat hip dysplasia as early on. And there's no doubt that both of you guys are gonna live together a great life. And yeah, I'm excited for the future. Down the line, again, surgery is a consideration. I'm always thinking about that, but for now, we're doing pretty well. I'm gonna make a video of the 10 tips. I kind of talked a little bit about them in this update video, but I'm making a hip dysplasia tip video. It's gonna be the next video, so make sure to check that out. I think it will come out Tuesday if this comes out Saturday. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Jackson, is there anything else? Is there anything else that I'm forgetting, man? Oh, also too is just home exercises. You want to make sure that you build those hind leg muscles. There's a past video on my channel. I kind of walk through the exercises that you can do at home to build those muscles. So definitely recommend doing those. Jackson and I do them. And another thing too, it is wintertime here, so we can't really swim, but swimming is a great exercise to build those hind leg muscles and also, you know, give them the exercise that they need. So if you are in a warm/humid place and have a body of water, I definitely recommend having your dog swim in it. But yeah, guys, that concludes today's short little video, short little update on Jackson's hip dysplasia. I hope this video helps you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. I think I covered everything. If I missed something, again, just comment down below. But yeah, overall, we're doing pretty well. Jackson's doing well with his hip dysplasia. I honestly can't really tell that he does have hip dysplasia aside from just rubbing his ball right here that's kind of protruding out. But aside from that, he's been doing pretty well. He's loving life. He is living it stress-free. He's gonna go outside soon because I know he's looking at the window. So we're gonna go. As a reminder, please hit that like button as it really helps in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button too, as it really means a lot to Jackson and me. If you guys haven't joined the Aussiedoodle lovers/owners Facebook group, the link is in the description. You do not have to own an Aussiedoodle to join. Click the link and join an awesome and growing community. Tell your dogs you love them. Jackson, I love you. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day. Yay for Jackson. That's a nice little update. Yay.